Season in Nepal is a very peculiar situation now, and after the 2007 Madhesi movement, the rise of ethno-nationalism came into the picture in Nepal in a very vigorous way. So, coming back to the brief history of the Madhesi region, that how it constitutes, is that from the Sugoi Treaty, and after that in the late 1950s, the Madhesi regions came into the being in the Nepal as a territory. And basically, in the Shivalik foothills and the mid-mountain regions that came into the picture, and then the Madhesi region constitute, that is the southern part of the Nepal. And according to the current administrative settings, it is constitutes of 20 districts in Nepal, and that all districts comes to the share the border with the in India. So coming back to the Madhesi movement as a whole, it has a long genesis, and a little bit tracing back to the historical analysis of it. In 1951, the Vedanand Jha had first raised the Madhesi issues for the discrimination against the Madhesi people from the Kathmandu establishment. And then after that, in the mid 1950s, the Raghunath Thakur came came and raised the issues of the Madhes. And later on in 1980s, the Sadbhavna party, who has asserted the Madhesi's right in a more vigorous way, and then rise for the federalism demand. And simultaneously, after the Maoist insurgencies came into the picture in 2000, basically the Madhesi Tarai Liberation Front they have established, and in which the insurgency came into a little bit militant way. And a little bit before that, in 1997, the Madhesi Janadhikar Forum it came as an NGO, and which has established the which has tried to gather the group of the intellectuals and the civil society members to raise the Madhesi issues, and the rise of the federalism, right of self-determination, and the autonomous region came into the mainstream politics of the Nepal. After that, in 2007, it was the Madhesi movement, as I've already said, that Madhesi movement came into the picture after the Jan Andolan 2 in Nepal in 2007, which basically constitute the ethno-nationalism movement in Nepal. So their demand of basically the rise of their demand is basically the identity-based federalism, inclusive and representative democracy, and clear power devolution from the caste of high elites, which constitute in Nepal basically the establishment of the Brahmins and the Brahmins and the Kshatriya elites, to the inclusive citizenship. And then basically the Madhesi movement and the Madhesi parties thereafter came into the mainstream politics and had an election in the Constituent Assembly 1, in which they have got the number of they have got the substantial victory, in which almost the four Madhesi political parties, Madhesi Janadhikar Forum, Tarai Madhesh Loktantrik Party, Sadbhavna Party, and likewise they have contested an election, and they got almost close to 87 seats in the Constituent Assembly election in the first. And then coming to the second Constituent Assembly election, which was recently held in 2013, they have little bit setback. But however, the proportionate of the vote they received in the first Constituent Assembly to the second Constituent Assembly is almost comes to the 11% approach. But then, however, it is being seen that when the Madhesi parties were united, they were very much in the mainstream politics to raise the demand of the Madhesi issues in a more articulative way. But now the Madhesi parties are divided in much of the factions, so it is very unclear that how the Madhesi politics would take into the picture. So the Madhesi movement is basically the clear-cut representation. Basically demands for the clear-cut representation in the political arena, and then against the social, political, and cultural exclusion which had the Madhesi feels in Nepal. So the Madhesi movement is basically, even if as we see that the historical rise of the Madhesi movement that has been constantly from 1951 till now, it has also seen the radicalization of the Madhesi movement. And in the radicalization of the Madhesi movement, there are some fringe and criminals and armed groups which are also been active in the Madhes, and that may lead to the radicalization of the region. So the Madhes region is still in the state of influx, and in which the Madhesi politics has to find its way for the clear-cut understanding and the peaceful resolution of in the mainstream politics of the Kathmandu.